Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another deep dive into the world of Tsukihime. With your boy, BerserkChip. Okay. Let's get back to it. Oh, the bed! Oh, right. Okay. I forgot. Should I just skip this whole thing entirely, or should I... I'm gonna play with fire. I'll keep going until I start to see some more dire implications. Okay. Things about to get spicy? Probably. I enter before her. Behind me, I can sense Arcueid. If I turn around, I know my feelings will rise out of control. But still, my mind is almost surprisingly calm. Almost surprisingly calm? I think it should be surprisingly almost calm. I don't know. I don't quite understand it myself. But perhaps it is the contradicting impulse of being insane yet sane that loving someone brings. Arcueid. I try to turn around. Before I finish, I feel her hand lightly rest on my back. Don't turn around. Wait just like this for a while. Her voice is exceedingly calm. The hand on my back doesn't move, as if making sure of something. Hey, Shiki. Do you remember when I first waited for you? Yeah, I remember. The one I killed was waiting with a smiling face. How could I forget? Yeah, back then, I really hated you. Despite her words, her voice is very gentle. Arcueid. I knew I wouldn't be able to suppress my vampiric impulses by myself any longer. And I knew this probably would be my chance. And I pursued Roa. I thought I finally found him. And then someone I didn't even know killed me and ruined everything. Back then, all I could feel was hatred. And I found the one who killed me, and waited at that road for such a long time. I was thinking you should just hurry up. Hurry up and come here. Once I saw you, I'd make you suffer the same fate. I really did hate you. I hated you so much that I thought my chest would burst with hatred as I waited. The pressure on my back increases. Arcueid. But no one has ever killed me like that before. I was a bit curious about what kind of person you were, too. And I never thought so strongly about someone before. In the beginning, it was just hatred. But it started to slip when I wondered what kind of human you were. Soon, I wanted to meet you, to find out about you. The one who killed me like that. And for the first time, I almost lost track of myself. And I kept wondering. Shiki, what you said before, about how being by yourself is lonely, I thought that wasn't true. But when I waited for you, the one who I madly thought about, I felt happy. I wanted to meet you right away, but it turned out great that I held on and waited for you. It was really fun. I was so excited. I kept imagining what kind of person you were. She pulls her hand from my back. Thinking back, I started to feel the need for someone else from that time. And I felt unsatisfied with just being by myself. You said you liked me. But I think I fell in love with you before we even met. Her voice is just so lovely. There's no need for hesitation. Turning around, I embrace her. Aww, that's not so spicy, that's cute. Our lips come together naturally. I don't know who started it. Maybe we both did. We just did it gently. We kissed to feel each other's presence just a bit closer. I'm not going to vocalize that. Holding my breath, I take in everything about the way she feels. Her soft lips. The skin that would never touch anything is touching me right now. Just thinking about it makes my head spin. Yet touching her is so warm and relaxing. Alright, we should probably skip. That's about enough playing with fire for one day. Okay. Her body is trembling lightly, but she doesn't seem to be scared at all. Her closed eyes, the shade of red on her cheeks is so adorable. I really can't believe it. This Arcueid is the one that I love so much. I couldn't even imagine that just doing this would make me feel more love toward her. We pull back. Still holding each other, we look at each other in embarrassment. That was a kiss, wasn't it? She says this with a deep blush. Her red eyes looking up at me imploringly. Her golden hair waving before my... Excuse me. Her golden hair waving before my eyes. Arcueid, you don't like this kind of thing? That's not it. My heart's beating fast right now. Thump. Certainly, her heart is beating loudly. Or is it my heartbeat? She looks straight into my eyes. But this is troubling. I'm wondering if this is really okay. Is what okay? Because there aren't any vampires that kiss. Blushing, she smiles embarrassedly. That gesture was checkmate. Taking off my glasses, I embrace her once more. Oh, that's a little steamy. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna skip past this. I am full screen, aren't I? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to triple check. Is there a fast forward button? Because I know I can skip to the next choice, but I don't want to skip past the steamy part. I just want to skip the part itself. Okay. There we go. I could just kind of... Can you fucking imagine if I read this shit out loud? Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that would make me unironically a sex worker, right? Technically. Okay. Yup. Definitely too much for Twitch. Just skip past all this fucking... I mean, you could. Okay. So, okay. Jesus fuck. So, like, what's a little troubling about this is that, yes, Arcueid is 800 plus years old, and yes, she does have, like, an adult-ish body. But, like, she's only awake long enough to kill Roa and then go back to sleep. So how long has she been awake, really? And most of the time she's been awake, she's been mute and, not really maturing in any way, shape, or form. Being killed by Shiki is kind of what triggered, if I'm understanding this correctly, her, like, being killed by Shiki and meeting him, like, triggered something in her, kind of, like, activated her personality or her ego, I guess. So, like, I don't know, how old is she really? You know? Yeah, there's more. Okay. That's what I thought. Yup. Okay. Okay. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Why would you go back to... Okay. Honestly. Oh, this frame's kind of cute, though. Somebody in one of the previous streams, I don't know who it was, said that, like, the art is, like, 2000 DeviantArt tier. And I was like, that's not that bad. But I'm looking at Arcueid's hand, it looks like, her whole hand looks like a thumb. So, I don't know, maybe a little bit. Not vocalizing that, not vocalizing that. Okay. So, I'll have to look it up, but there are other Let's Reads of Tsukihime out there. I wonder what they do, what other people do with this shit. Do they just skip it entirely, or do they blind react to it? Do they read it? Do they have an OnlyFans? Okay. Okay. I'll just skip this next bit, even though it's... because I kind of skipped too much of it. But I think... Are we safe? I think we're safe. But yeah, so what happened, for those of you who are unaware, watching the VOD, is, Shiki and Arcueid went back to Arcueid's apartment, and, they played Scrabble for a couple hours, and they got real tired, and they went to sleep, and now Shiki's having a dream. And Arcueid asked Shiki in the dream, like, what would happen if she became a true vampire, i.e., like, what happens if she drank blood? And Shiki's like, that'll never happen. Something along those lines. Well, Shiki, I'll be leaving before you wake up. I won't be able to say goodbye directly, so forgive me for doing it this way. The sound of a door shutting. Still sleeping, I hear it close. I wake up. Bright sunlight streams in through the curtains. Looking at the clock, it just turned noon. Crap! School! I quickly get up. But, come to think of it, it's Sunday today. There's no need to go to school. If there's anything I should worry about, it's the fact that I stayed over at Arcueid's place without calling home. Come to think of it, I think I saw a weird dream. A dream where I was talking to Arcueid, and she kissed me at the end. I'm really out of it. For me to see such a happy dream when Arcueid is sleeping next to me might be proof that I'm really happy right now, though. Don't you think so, Arc? I turn to the bed, and my voice cuts off there. Arcueid? I look at the bed in shock. There's no one there. Arcueid isn't around anywhere. I'll be going now. In my dream, Arcueid said that. Hey, wait! I look around the room, but of course she isn't anywhere. The only thing I find is a single piece of paper on the table. I don't know if it's some kind of joke, or it's in another language, but the paper only has the word bye written on it. Why? I don't want to believe it. But more than that, I can understand what Arcueid did. Why? You've got to be kidding me. Bye? It's just too simple. We even promised. We promised to be together. I told her I'd help her until the very end. Why? Why did she go off by herself again? Why, Arcueid? I scream as loud as I can and crumble the piece of paper. After that, I fly out of the room and look all over it like I've gone mad. I can't find Arcueid. I know. I already know that she won't ever appear before me again. But I still can't give up. I'll go crazy like this. I'll go crazy unless I find her and yell at her for how much of an idiot she's been. But I still can't find her. I'll never see her again. Something desperately ends. She will settle things with Roa and disappear by herself. No. I think she's already finished and left the city. I stop thinking before I go crazy. I hear the voices of cicadas in the back of my ear. The discarded shells of cicadas. My body becomes light with nothing inside it, and I cannot think anymore. So this is what it means to be truly empty. Not even tears come forth. Still an empty shell, my legs move. I guess it's just like an animal's instinctual sense to go home. Even though I have nothing left in me, I'm walking towards my house. Chapter 11, Savage Night. I wake up to the sound of Hisui's voice. Since then, after returning to the mansion, I must have made my way to my room somehow and slept. Shiki-sama, are you not feeling well? No, I'm fine. Answering, I sit up in bed. I'm almost amazed at myself. I don't even feel like talking, but my body tries to start my day as always. Breakfast? I'll be down soon. Yes, I will be waiting. Looking as if she still wants to say something, Hisui leaves the room. I change my clothes and head to the sitting room. Akiha and Kohaku are there. Morning. Giving my usual greeting, I go to the dining room. I eat breakfast and return to the sitting room. Excuse me for a second. Okay. I sit on the sofa and stare at the clock. Nissan? You know you have school today, right? Yeah, that's right. I guess I should go to school. I forgot. I didn't feel like doing anything. And I thought I would keep living like this empty shell. I do have my life as Tohno Shiki. If I don't have anything to do, it won't hurt to go to school. Nissan? Akiha looks at me uneasily. Speaking is just a pain. Without saying anything, I go to school. Time passes by uneventfully. I emptily attend my lessons. The sound of the chalk. I mindlessly write down what's written on the board and onto my notes. I look out the window into the rear courtyard. Of course there's no one there. What am I doing? Just calmly attending my lessons like this. Not searching for her and just returning to my normal life. But there's no way for me to search for Arcueid. That would require some type of mystic eyes of depth perception. Since she left on her own, there's probably no possibility of me finding her. That's why I've really lost Arcueid. Snap. A sound comes from above my desk. It's nothing. I was just gripping my mechanical pencil so hard that I snapped another one. Classes end. In the commotion of the classroom, I still remain seated. Tohno, can you come here for a moment? My math teacher speaks up from the podium. Yes, what is it? I respond and walk towards him. Give me just a second. Okay. Tohno, hasn't your recent behavior been a little wild? I've received information that you've been going out late at night. Does it ring a bell? Yes. These past few days, I had things to do in town at night. I see. My math teacher, well, my homeroom teacher as well, looks a bit concerned, then looks a little sorry. I know you're not the kind of student to goof off at night, but there have been concerns voiced by the faculty. It appears the head of the student council would like to speak to you. Because of that, please go to the student council room after school. Just consider yourself unlucky and bear with it. Saying goodbye, he leaves the classroom. Head of the student council? Is that going to be like a new character? After school, I stop by the student council room, but the teacher isn't there. Now that I remember, that teacher is also an advisor to the gymnastics team. He probably won't come until practice is over. I sit in my chair and wait faithfully. I bite my lip. I know this isn't the time to be doing this. I know. But there's nothing I can do. Outside the window, the sunset paints the sky vermilion. I can hear the voices of club members practicing outside, and the students walking while going home. Within that, this classroom is the only quiet place. This makes me angry. Why am I here? I can't do anything. I'm angry at my powerlessness. However, I have no way to solve this myself, so in the end, all I can do is accept everything I'm told emptily. What am I doing? There's no answer. I just sit in the empty classroom listening to the sounds outside. Tick. The second hand of the clock sweeps by, telling me it's now 7 at night. No one comes by. The school closes at 6, and all the teachers leave at 6:30, so no one else remains at the school grounds. I guess I'm forgotten. I get up from my chair. After pondering matters so long, my head starts to clear a little. I was thinking all this time about what I should do, what I should prioritize. From here, I should... Even if it's useless, I'll look for Arcueid. I really wish this game would let me save on choices, because now, if I fuck up and die, I have to go through the whole fucking sex scene again. I mean, the Parcheesi scene. Parcheesi. They played board games, you see. Okay. Accept it and go back to the mansion. I'll look for Arcueid. If this is how things are, I'll search for Roa myself. So, strictly speaking, looking for Arcueid in and of itself doesn't make any sense. Because if she doesn't want to be found, 9 times out of 10, you won't find her. Accepting it and going back to the mansion doesn't really seem like something that Shiki would do. If this is how things are, I'll search for Roa myself. So, that might be a bad idea. Might be. But if one were to want to find Arcueid, she's going to try and find Roa, and his mystic eyes let him see the dead. So it would behoove him, if he wants to find Arcueid, he's got to find Roa first. That's what makes the most sense. So, I should find this vampire Roa. Arcueid isn't going to come see me, and it's almost impossible for me to find her. So I'll take the opposite route. Arcueid said she would defeat Roa no matter what. If her purpose is Roa, then I'll look for him too. Arcueid will come to Roa, so if I can find him before then, that'll be good. And with that option, I can help Arcueid at this last moment. All right, my mind is set, so I can't waste any more time here. I have to go into town this very minute, and even if it means looking for a needle in a haystack, I have to find this vampire. Naturally, the hallway is empty. The lights are shut off, and the hallway is illuminated solely by the blue moonlight streaming from the windows. I realize, as soon as I look up in the sky from the hallway, tonight is a full moon. I lose myself for a moment gazing at it. The silver moon. Delicate beauty like glass. It feels like it will crumble if I were to reach out to my hand and touch it. That moon. When I was a child, I feel like I saw it in a stupor. Throb. Gah! Suddenly, the scar on my chest begins to ache. Thump. My heart skips a beat. My blood starts to circulate wildly, and I can't control my breathing. Throb. I place my hand on my chest. My uniform is soaked in blood. My scar has opened and is bleeding. Thump. Panting. My breathing is out of control. A chill runs through my back, and my spine painfully feels like it's going to burst open. Throb. Thump. Tap. In between my heartbeats, I hear a sound. Someone is coming. From the far end of the hallway, walking towards me. Tap. The sound of footsteps. There's something not right. This isn't the wild beating of my heart which comes from my body sensing danger like before. A headache runs through my head. This pain, this sense of danger is directed against me. I feel that shadowy figure is something Tohno Shiki, must not meet. I breathe harder. Not even able to breathe properly, I take off my glasses. My knife is in my pocket. The figure draws closer. The moonlight seems to suggest it's a male. The point indicating death pulsates in the center of his body like a heart. All around his body are numerous lines of death covered like wires for a machine. My breathing stops. There's something wrong with my head. I don't know this figure. Even though I don't know, I can't help but feel like it resembles someone. Tap, tap. He approaches. I'll be able to see his face soon. Who does he resemble? Who does he resemble? Who does he resemble? Who does he resemble? Who am I forgetting? Bloodshot eyes. The death all over his body. An alien stillness, as if the very cool air around us was frozen. There's no mistaking it. He isn't human. Hey, what's up, Zero? He draws even closer. He heads straight in my direction, looking solely at me, smiling wordlessly. I ready my knife. The blade pops forth. He continues walking. There's no time to think or hesitate. Under the white moon, as if in slow motion, I ready my knife. He doesn't stop. Slowly, as if time stopped only for me. He easily reaches out and takes my knife, holding it upside down. My body doesn't move.
Shiki, being able to see death isn't just your privilege.
Saying that, he moves his arm. Throb. A chill runs through me again. My brain freezes. My body remembers the same pain from before. The sound of slashed flesh. My knife he stole is now plunged deeply in my chest. My body collapses. All my strength drains as I crumble to the floor. Fluttering, a white sheet falls. It's because I leaned on him when I fell. As I fell, my hand took the bandages wrapping his body.
I see. You wish to see my face, Shiki.
Saying that, he unfurls the bandages. Everything turns dark. His face. This face before me. I know it. It does resemble that. Because his face, it resembles the face of the bloody child before me on that hot summer day. I fall onto the ground, the knife still embedded in my chest. Strangely, there's no blood or even pain. My body just gets colder. My consciousness drifts away. My control over my body, everything, starts to fade away.
I did pay you back for killing me.
He says this as he looks down at me. The face I see as I look up. I recognize him. Of course I recognize him. Yeah. Why have I forgotten until now? When I was a kid, the other child me and Akiha played with at the mansion. Always we were together. When Akiha came to play, me and him were always there to welcome her. So why have I forgotten his name until now?
Shiki. That's right, Shiki. It's really been a long time.
Shiki, smiles with satisfaction. Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki. Those meaningless scribbles.
That's ridiculous. Sorry, Shiki. You'll have to listen to my grudges just a little longer. So I just avoided the point of death slightly. It's not fatal, so you'll probably stay conscious for a bit. Don't fade away that easy.
The unpleasant laugh and the terrible uneasiness I felt when I faced Nervensker. In the midst of my fading consciousness, I realized something. He is Arcueid's enemy.
Well then, shall I take that knife? Someone like you who's about to disappear won't need it.
He reaches for the knife stuck in my chest. He grips the handle. The moment he takes it out will be my death. But I can't do anything. I can't move even to close my eyes.
Gah!
He flies. Suddenly, Shiki flies back, as if he was struck by a car. At the same time, a black-robed figure appears. Even though this is the 3rd floor, she crashes through the glass window and makes a flashy appearance. After flying back many meters, Shiki stands up slowly and stares at me lying on the floor, and Seal-senpai protecting me.
Bitch! Interfering once now and twice!
Senpai only stares back wordlessly at Shiki. He lowers himself as if to attack Senpai. And then, as if realizing something, Shiki suddenly begins to laugh.
I see. That's how it is, woman. I can't believe it, but that's how it is. Interesting. This is the first time such a thing has happened in 800 years. If that's the case, then new things truly do await me.
Shiki continues to laugh from the bottom of his heart. Senpai merely stares at the vampire in front of her.
What is it? You have to come kill me, right? Or is it something else? Or is it that a cast-off shell cannot do anything on its own?
Or wait, fuck, is that... I don't know who's talking. I think that's him. Senpai doesn't... Okay, that was him, sorry. Senpai doesn't respond. She looks away from the vampire and lifts me up.
Oh? That imposter is more important than cutting off the cause behind you. But that's useless. He's beyond help. It's only payback for him living as Tohno until now. No matter what, there's no healing someone whose lines of death are cut. Even that princess had to exchange over 800 years of time in order to regenerate. A human like him can't escape death.
His voice is full of mocking laughter. Senpai doesn't say anything in response. In the end, without a single word, as she holds me, she goes through the glass window and jumps outside. Yeah, honestly, it is confusing at times. She seems to retreat, she seems to treat the height as if it were nothing. With a light step, she lands on the ground and runs from the school without even looking back. Through it all, I only look at the school building with empty eyes. The third-floor hallway I was in until just now. I blankly look at the vampire with long black hair as he victoriously watches us leave. You know what I really like about doing this for visual novels? Let's say, hypothetically, I wanted to do something like this, but for a book that I haven't read yet. Like, let's say I wanted to do, like, this kind of reading for, like, Dune. The hard thing about that is because I'm not familiar with the characters, I would have to, like, to make different voices for them. Essentially, I couldn't do that blind. I would have to go through, know which each character is, get an idea of them, and then it would be like a performance that I would have had to have rehearsed beforehand, to a certain extent, or like have an idea of what I'm gonna do. But with a visual novel, because you see the picture of the character, usually before they speak, not always, but usually, it's like a lot quicker to get an idea of like what you think they should sound like. So I just think that's really cool. Anyway. Still holding me, Senpai heads straight for my mansion. I don't know what she's planning, but this can't be good. With a knife still embedded in my chest, there's no mistake that my death is near. If Akiha sees me like this, it won't just be a matter of her worrying. Damn it. I can't speak. I want to tell her to cut it out, but I can only grasp for air. Please be quiet, Tohno-kun. It is okay. I'm sure your sister can help. Help? That's impossible, Senpai. I'm stabbed in the chest and I can't even move. There isn't anyone who can help a person about to die like this. No, it's possible. Otherwise, it would not make any sense. Look, if your sister couldn't help you, you would have died 8 years ago. That's why. I know we can still make it. Her words. They have so many U's in them. I can hardly understand. Senpai. What do you... Jeez, just be quiet already. If you speak any more, we may not be able to help you. She gives an unbelievably serious, angry face. I feel terrible, so I close my eyes. Well, anyways, it's beginning to get hard. Staying up. So... I was always an outsider to my family. From an early age, I always thought that. From the time I was adopted from the Tohno family by the Arima family. No, actually, long before that, I was an outsider to my family. I never even wondered why. Before I realized it, I was alone. There were people around me acting like my parents, so I tried hard to act like their child. I think the house with the old tatami room was my first house. From there, after some incident, I was taken to a large Western-style mansion. There was a brother and a sister around my same age, and we became good friends, I think. But there was always a wall between their father and me. But still, we tried hard to be like a real family. Even if we weren't related by blood, we tried to believe we We tried to believe we were a family. Even that ended abruptly. After a large accident, I was taken to a hospital. No one came to see me, and my eyes became abnormal. Until then, I was alone. And in the end, I was alone. I thought maybe I should just disappear like that. Until I met that sorceress, who was as beautiful as the clear blue sky overhead. A nostalgic dream. I'm alive? I speak aimlessly. I don't seem to be able to lift a finger, but at least I can speak clearly. My mind is clear enough to grasp that this is my room. Nissan, are you awake? Akiha, you're there? Akiha is standing by the bedside, apparently having taken care of me. Akiha, you... I look at Akiha, not knowing what happened. She looks away uneasily. My, this wound is... I can't say he... Shiki did it. In the first place, how did she react when I arrived with this wound? I would think usually you'd send someone with a knife in their chest to the hospital. Akiha, It's okay. I heard most of the circumstances from that person. That person? You mean Senpai? Still looking down, Akiha nods. I'm more confused. What exactly did Senpai tell Akiha by most of the circumstances? This isn't good. Not knowing it's what Senpai told her, I can't ask her something wrong. Akiha, where's Senpai? If you mean that person, she's resting in the sitting room. Normally, I would not let such a person stay in the house. I'm sorry, that's still her talking. Normally, I would not let such a person stay in the house, but she has helped you. So I can't treat her poorly. As she speaks, her expression turns more severe. Nissan, the wound in your chest was caused by Shiki, right? Directly, Akiha cuts to the heart of the matter. Akiha, you... Didn't I say so earlier? I heard most of the circumstances from that person. Although, I would have understood the situation if I looked at you. My words stick in my throat. Akiha. Sounds as if she knew about Shiki from the beginning. Akiha, you... About Shiki? Yes, I know. From the very beginning, I was aware of everything and called you back to the mansion. I suddenly get assailed by dizziness, like I just got hit in the head with a hammer. Wait a minute. What do you mean you were aware of everything? I don't honestly know what's going on. Certainly, there was another kid with me and you back then. But when I asked you... You said there wasn't a third child. I'm sorry. All I've ever done is lie to you. Even about this. I knew it would turn out like this, but I lied to you all this time and deceived you. Deceived? Then there was a third kid. But why did he disappear suddenly? Yeah, I really can't remember. The third kid. I remember always playing with another boy my age. Akiha sometimes would sneak away when her father wasn't looking and come play with us. But how come I don't remember? Things like why he disappeared, Or how his name, Shiki, was the same as mine. Yeah, everything. I've clearly forgotten. I don't know. The only thing I remember is that... the scene I saw in the courtyard. Since I came back, it's only that hot summer day which floats in the back of my mind like a daydream. Akiha's there. I'm there. And before me is the bloody corpse of another boy. Yes. Shiki did say so. I paid you back for killing me, he said. So that means... that dream... I... really... killed him. Is that why he suddenly disappeared, and I conveniently forgot all those bad memories? Akiha, No, you're mistaken. You did not kill anyone. Tohno Makihisa, our father, commanded you to think that way. My old man did? I don't understand even more. Why would my old man command me to do something like that? Akiha, you said you were aware of everything when you called me back. What do you mean? You know about 8 years ago? About Shiki and everything? Yes. I didn't want you to remember about Shiki, Nissan. If possible, I wanted you to forget about it forever. But it's all over. From the beginning, it was impossible to hide it. Saying that, she gives a self-derisive smile. She looks at me in the eye and starts speaking again. Nissan, that person told you about the Tohno blood being special, right? You may not believe it, but there is non-human blood in the Tohno ancestry. At least, that is what Father told me since I was young. Of course, I did not believe it at first, but something happened to make me believe it. That incident was when you were killed by Shiki 8 years ago. Killed? Me? By Shiki? Akiha nods wordlessly. But that's strange. That's the exact opposite. Shiki was the one lying bloody on the ground. Didn't he say, I paid you back for killing me? As the people in the Tohno family grow older, the inhuman blood in us increases. This blood isn't anything good. I think the type of blood mixed with the Tohno family greatly increases I think the type of blood mixed with the Tohno family greatly increases one's instincts and makes me think it's just the blood of a beast. If you call the human part reason, the instincts of the non-human blood overpower reason. Akiha, that's... I know you can't believe it because it's so sudden. So, be quiet for now. No. I know someone exactly like that. Even now, if I could move freely and avoid Shiki, I'd fly out of here and look for her. However, the end comes for members of the Tohno family as they grow older. There has not been an instance of inversion as a child like Shiki did. There has not been an instance of inversion as a child like Shiki did? The blood in the Tohno family varies from individual to individual. There are those whose appearance will not change, and those whose appearance will. Shiki was a typical case of the latter. The latter? His appearance changed? Yes. I do not understand why he went crazy at such a young age. But he inverted without any warning. When that happened, he attacked you, Nissan. Shiki attacked me? Throb. The old wound in my chest aches. It happened in that courtyard. You were stabbed in the chest, and were on the verge of death when Father came and stopped Shiki. To stop Shiki, who has lost his mind, you can only kill him. It is the duty of the head of the Tohno household to deal with members of the family who have inverted. So, the bloody Shiki you saw was probably the result of Father dealing with him. The fact that Shiki was the odd one out made me wonder who and what he was when I played the first Melty. Yeah. I can't remember. There was something else. I feel like there was something more important that I can't remember. Afterwards, you miraculously recovered. And as you remember, you were taken to the hospital and told you were in a big accident. For that reason, I was then raised to be the successor of the Tohno family, even though I was the second child. Once inverted, Shiki could no longer be the successor, so the only other remaining blood relative had to be chosen. I see. That's why Akia had to take such a heavy burden of becoming the successor. Huh. Akia. That's weird. You said it was Shiki that inverted, right? Then I'm not normal? I'm surprised. Nissan, you believe all of this? Hey now. It's not like you'd lie like this. Well, I'm used to this kind of talk. More importantly, I'm asking you if this is a bit strange, Akiha. I suppose you are right. But Nissan, there's nothing wrong with the story, so we cannot discuss it. There's nothing wrong with the story, so can we not discuss it any further? No, Akiha. Sorry, but finding out about Shiki is important to me. He's both my and her mutual enemy. I can't just ignore him. So, I have to know the truth. I can't have any traces of doubt left. Why is he alive if the old man killed him? Why? I forgot something so important. Please, tell me, Akiha. It's simple. You had a reason you could not succeed the Tohno family. You really even forgot that, didn't you, Nissan? I wish that illusion continued forever. Akiha. Nissan, you are not a part of the Tohno family. Because of a whim of Father's, he adopted you, just because you had the same name of his son, Shiki. You and I and Shiki, we were raised as true siblings. You were really good friends with Shiki, almost enough to make my childish heart feel jealous. But after what happened to Shiki, everything went wrong. Shiki was taken care of secretly, but the eldest son of the Tohno household could not be killed. The Tohno family has important standing in society, doesn't it? So, they could not tell society that the heir to the family just disappeared. Then Father had an idea. To treat Nissan, who was almost killed by Shiki, as Tohno Shiki. And to let Shiki be the adopted son who died in an accident. In other words, you traded places with Shiki. The one killed remained alive. The one killed remained alive. And the one who killed died. That is your relationship with Shiki. Then, what is this? I'm not your brother? I'm not even a member of the Tohno family? Of course. Not a member of the Arya family either. Then, where am I from? I'm sorry. No one can answer that now. Nissan, the child named Shiki is gone. The child named Shiki died 8 years ago. Not in terms of living, but in terms of existence. Name, a past, family, even memories. None of these remain anywhere. You traded places with Tohno Shiki 8 years ago. Father disposed of everything. That's why you were adopted by the Arima family. To maintain appearances, the eldest son of the Tohno family must still be alive. However, since you are not related by blood, you cannot be the heir. Reasoning that your body was weakened by the accident, you were given to the care of the Arima family. He commanded me not to let you near the mansion again. Akia's voice is trembling. She looks down, acting like she's resisting something. I know she must feel terribly guilty, but I don't intend to blame her. It might make me feel better that she feels that way, but there's something I still have to ask right now. No. There's still 2 things I need to clear up. Please keep talking, Akia. There's some things I still don't get all the way. Nissan. First, I understand I'm not a member of the Tohno family, but that raises another question. You said the members of the Tohno family are special, but the truth is, I also have something strange. Senpai said it was because I was a member of the Tohno family, so I was convinced. But I'm not a member of the Tohno family, right? Then, what does it all mean? I do not know. Certainly, Father did not seem the type to just adopt someone on whim. There may be some reason to why he adopted you, Nissan. I see. Well, it doesn't really matter to me what family I'm from. So there's no need to worry about it, Akiha. And, I always thought I was just lucky to be alive. It was really a fatal wound, wasn't it? Then I'm blessed enough to just be alive. Yeah. And more than that, the problem is... And second, why is Shiki alive? Glare. I unconsciously let hostility slip into my stare as I look at her. Nissan, that's... It's strange to me that he's still alive. Shiki lost to his Tohno blood and did this inversion thing, didn't he? And he killed me and was struck down by the old man. Then he shouldn't be alive. That, there's really only one possibility. Just like I've recovered, he must have recovered. Well, maybe my old man didn't kill him. After all, no matter how insane he is, he was still his son. He didn't kill him, and hid him in the eyes of everyone else. Just like how I was sent to the hospital. Akiha doesn't answer. It seems like I wasn't off the mark. Whoops. Come on. I see. The old man probably intended to call him back to the mansion when Shiki regained his sanity. That isn't... true? But she can't say it. She only silently looks downwards. It's okay. It isn't your fault or the old man's. Of course, not Shiki's either. It really all just sort of happened. It was just bad luck that some insane guy from overseas entered Shiki. You said everything went crazy, But that's all that happened. Akiha doesn't respond. I'm a little tired. To be honest, I didn't want to know anything about myself. More than that, I have to find Arcueid right now. Akiha, I'm a little tired. I'm gonna sleep, so could you please leave? Yes, if you say so, Nisan. Akiha heads toward the door. Akiha, there's still one thing left to ask, so I call after her. What is it, Nisan? Yeah. Why did you call me back here? I'm not even your real brother. Please don't say such foolish things. You are my only Nisan. Now and back then. Even if you forgot, from when we were little, to Tohno Akiha, you are my only Nisan, Shiki. The door clicks. The door clicks shut as Akiha exits my room. Aww. After she's gone, I finally realize my situation. It's just past 10. It's been 3 hours since Shiki, no, Roa attacked me at school. I still can't move at all. I feel like my body is a remote control robot. My mind's working, and I don't even feel any pain, but I can't move my arms or legs. I take a deep breath to calm down. I can't move because I'm trying to move large things like my arms or legs. First, I'll start small. Like the little finger on my right hand. Is this like the scene from Kill Bill? I concentrate on trying to move it. I focus all the power in my body to my little finger. My whole body starts to break out in sweat. After a few minutes, I finally move my little finger. It's just my little finger, but it gets the momentum going, as if forcing my nerves to remember the sense of movement. I go from my ring finger to my palm, to my elbow, to my arm, and to my shoulder, until I increase the parts of my body able to move. I start to pant. The more I can move, the more pain fills me. I see. I didn't feel pain because my whole body was numb. Restoring my nerves like this means pain returns at the same time. Sweat trickles from my forehead. Pain shoots through my body like countless blades. But if I can't move on my own, I won't be able to leave my room. Leave my room. Go into town. Go to school. I won't be able to find Arcueid. Resisting the urge to puke, I lift my upper body. It would take all my effort just to walk in this condition, but I don't care. In the first place, it's a miracle I'm alive after Roa stabbed me in the chest. If I wished for any more luck, karma would probably punish me. I look at the knife wound on my chest, and I don't see the point indicating death on my chest anywhere. I calm down slightly. Come to think of it, if he hit the point of death, I would have died instantly. Not even Nervinsker's immortal monstrous body could escape it. So there's no way someone like me would walk away from it alive. Maybe what he sees is different. As I ponder this, a light knock sounds at my door, and Senpai enters the room. Tohno-kun! You were told to rest, so why are you up? She forcefully walks toward my bed. For now, I wordlessly watch her. What is it, Tohno-kun? Is there something on my face? No. You just aren't wearing your glasses. Yes, it is a pity. Yours and mine made such a good set together. Yours and mine made such a good set together. As she smiles like this even now, I can't help but think Senpai will always be Senpai. Even though she's wearing those priestly robes and can fight evenly with Roa, she'll always be the senpai I know. Thanks. You saved me once again. Yes, that makes it 3 times. I won't keep lending you a hand, so please be more careful. I see. Got it. I'll be prepared. Next time, I'll be sure to get him before he gets me. After I say this, Senpai looks directly at me. Tohno-kun, don't tell me you've not learned from experience yet. Hey now, I'm the victim here. Why did I have to learn? He was the one who attacked me, so I can't do anything about it. That's true, but Tohno-kun, you're certainly set on finishing this. I don't respond. I don't know if I'm set on finishing this like she says. It's just, I can't sit around and do nothing now. Senpai, I have a question if that's alright. No, but even if I said that, you wouldn't stop anyway. Alright. If that makes you calm down, it's a good price to pay. Then let's talk, shall we? Senpai sits in the chair Akiha was in earlier. I thought she'd try to stop me right away, but I don't know what she's thinking. Then I'll ask. That guy before was Roa, wasn't he? Yes. That is his host this time. The same Tohno Shiki who plundered your life 8 years ago. You heard about that from Akiha-san. Yeah, I heard. Are you friends with her or something, Senpai? She seems to hate you, though. Yes, I am hated. She despises my job of hunting heretics, and it seems she does not like me either. It seems to be a rather remarkable hatred. She amazingly says all this with a smile. Oh, well, that's another matter. Back to Roa. Is his lair at the school? I can't say exactly, but it seems like the school building is his lair. I think he started to move on his own because Arcueid killed all of his dead. In other words, Arcueid hasn't found him yet. If so, then there's still a chance of me finding her. Tohno-kun? Nothing. But why would he set up at my school? No, in the first place, he seems more like Shiki than Roa. He didn't seem like a vampire at all. Just, what does it all mean? It doesn't mean anything other than the source of his character is Shiki. Of course, he doesn't act like a vampire. Hold on. Shiki is Roa's host, right? Then his personality is Roa's. So wouldn't he start acting less like a human? No, not at all. Okay, Tohno-kun. The body Roa reincarnated into is raised as a different person with a different character. Unless he matures as a human until Roa awakens, he will not be able to use his intelligence as Roa. But after Roa awoke within him, Roa's principles followed that of the host. Then that guy is unmistakably Shiki, and there's none of Roa's personality at all? Yes. In a way, Roa doesn't actually exist anymore. What does exist is the conceptualization of Roa's desire for immortality. What's troublesome is the steady accumulation of wills, of history, of magical knowledge, all parts of his malicious conceptualization. For Roa, as long as he can continue his thesis on immortality, he doesn't care what else he does. Roa increases his dead, but it's really more like an instinct in a species to breed children. Shiki's true desire and what Roa really wants to do are completely different from each other. What Shiki really wants to do. Yes. Probably his desire to kill you is far greater than any conciliation with Arcueid. What? I don't get what she's trying to say. Why would he want to kill me? It's hard to say. But Shiki thinks you killed him. What do you mean? I'm the one who was killed. He's got it all backwards. But you are alive, Tohno-kun, and Shiki was killed. In the end, you became Tohno-shiki, did you not? After Shiki received judgment from the Tohno family, he had a miraculous recovery, just like yours. However, he didn't have his house to return to, because Tohno-shiki was very much alive, living with his sister Akihasan. In a way, you killed Tohno-shiki. You took away his only place to return to, being hidden away by Tonomaki-isa while you lived in his place. You can only imagine how Shiki felt. To Shiki, I'm just an imposter who's using the name Tohno-shiki. Yes, which is why Shiki hates you more than anything, Tohno-kun. But I didn't do so because I wanted to. But I guess Shiki doesn't care about that. To him, I'm the hated imposter who stole everything away. The man who stole his home. Without any abatement, he lived and seethed in hatred these past 8 years. So, of course he wants to kill me. But I was still the one killed, Senpai. Tohno-kun? Yeah, I had things stolen from me too. 8 years ago, since I was 9 years old. Back then, the Shiki who lived up until that time disappeared without a trace. I can't recall my past too well. I don't have this urge to meet my true parents, but I can't even remember any treasured memories I may have had. Whoever Shiki had been, he's nowhere to be found. Tohno-kun, you can't fight because of hatred. As if sensing the danger in my words, Senpai warns me. I tell her not to be ridiculous as I shake my head. That's not it. I have to deal with Roa for a different reason. You don't hate him? I'd be lying if I said no. But it really doesn't matter. I just can't let him run loose by himself. Because if I do that, the princess would try too hard. That's why I have to help her. I promised her I'd help her till the very end. That's right. Which is why I can't be resting here by myself. She's always going through so much pain, yet tries to act so cheerful in front of me. I just can't understand. I'm sorry, that's her. I just can't understand. Why do you support her so much? Arcueid is a vampire. Isn't she different from you? I don't care about that. All I know is I love her. That's enough reason for me to help her. Looking at Senpai's eyes, I speak directly. Senpai brings her hand to her mouth, as if moved, and blushes for some reason. I see. You're saying you will help her to the very end, Tohno-kun. Yeah. I don't have time to waste. If Roa's at my school, I have to leave right away. Otherwise, Arcueid might try and fight Roa. If that happens, her safety isn't guaranteed, so I have to lend her a hand. I don't know how much use I can be, but it has to be better than Arcueid by herself. It is hopeless. Even if you were able to move fully, she isn't able to match Roa in her present state. Not able to match him. How do you know about that, Senpai? A simple calculation. She's already suppressing that urge to drink blood when she fell victim to before. This reduces her power so much she couldn't even stand up to a half-powered Roa. Your power is less than half of Roa's, so you can't manage him even if you work together. In the first place, she's very close to death. Her power's weak, and she's using that to suppress the impulse within herself. It would be like us moving around after having our lungs smashed. What do you mean? Close to... Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. It's not a stream on Switch.tv until a cat shows up. Okay, what do you mean, close to death? Why? Certainly she was in pain, but she didn't look close to death at all. Of course. That is all because she's resisting the urge to drink blood. It would be easier if she drank it. But I don't think she would ever do that. So long as she pursues Roa in her present state, she's racing towards death. That's just ridiculous. I stand up from my bed. I fall to the floor instantly, without even catching myself, like a piece of trash hitting the carpet. How weak. Arcueid is in such a desperate situation, but I'm so weak I can't even walk. Please don't force yourself, Tohno-kun. Even though you're not wounded, your energy is practically all gone. It's probably Roa's host, Shiki's ability. Just being stabbed by a knife shaved some of your life away. My life? Think of it as your energy, which allows you to live. It is infinite, but exhaustible. It's produced as long as one lives, but the amount able to be stored varies from individual to individual. So the amount of life that can be taken away from a body is limited. Before we use up all the energy we have accumulated, we draw more from this unlimited source. So if there was a way to steal all the accumulated energy in a single instant, the person wouldn't... Excuse me, that's a lot of words. Okay. So if there was any way to steal all the accumulated energy in a single instant, the person wouldn't have the minimal energy needed to draw in more energy from this unlimited source, and all life activity would cease. Life. Life which uses life. Then, things use it to live? That's true. You can't exactly call it death. It's more like a car that has no gasoline. It can't run. Saying that, she helps me stand up, and moves as if to tuck me in bed. Enough! I'm not going to lie down. What are you saying when you can't even stand by yourself? If you don't want to lie down, then please stay like that. She pushes me down, and I forcefully sit on the bed. Just sitting up like this leaves me out of breath. Shit! In this state, I can't make it to school. Even if I was able to see Arcueid, I'd just be a burden on her like this. You don't have to fight anymore, Tohno-kun. It'll all be settled in a matter of a few days. Settled? What do you... Because I have found the reincarnation of Roa. The Vatican, our headquarters, has approved my request. Within 7 days, the burial agency, under control of His Holiness the Pope, will arrive and put an end to Roa. In the end, it'll mean just another continuation of the cycle, but this instance of Roa will be dealt with. 7 days. 7 days! No! I can't wait that long! Even now, Arcueid might be trying to settle things with Roa. Then, it'll all be meaningless. I force strength back into my legs, deceiving myself into ignoring my ragged breathing. I stand up from my bed. Senpai! My knife. Where is it? I have it. But do you think I will give it to you, Tohno-kun? No. But you shouldn't keep other people's things, Senpai. Isn't it common courtesy to hand back dropped things to their owners? After saying I'm right, Senpai rustles through her pockets and brings forth my knife. Because this dagger is yours, I will return it. But you really intend on going back to the school, Tohno-kun? Yeah. Before Arcueid finds Roa. I have to kill him. If Shiki's objective is to get me, I can't escape a fight to the death anyway. So, in order to protect Arcueid, I'll go to kill Roa myself. In your condition? I just don't understand. Please tell me why you're so into her. If you tell me, I won't stop you. Senpai asks me the same thing as before. Her look is so calm and sincere. She really does want to know. Why I want to help her. Because I like her? Or because being with her was fun? But because she's really good at Parcheesi? Yeah, those are really important too. But it's deeper than that. There's something I can't let go. Because she's by herself. I can't just leave her alone. I think that's why. That's a lie. You can't risk your life because of that. Please answer seriously, Tohno-kun. I can't understand that kind of reason. No, it really is my reason. Until now, she's been alone. She never even knew she never even knew what it was like to have fun. Always, almost foolishly isolated. Isn't it too lonely? I won't allow such a meaningless life. So I just want her to know that there's so many things to do in this world. And although most of it is useless and meaningless, knowing those is a part of the fun of being alive. Such things even a child knows. I just wanted to tell her. Even though she smiles like she's enjoying herself immensely, I want to show her anyone can have that. I wanted to show her over and over. This world has more, even more enjoyable things. Enough to make any hardship seem like nothing. To be able to feel like all the normal things as something normal. I wanted to make her happy. So she can truly smile all the time. Because I like Arcueid's smile. Isn't that right? As much as she hasn't been saved until now, I want to make her so many more. So many times more happier. I have to at least balance it out. In the first place, it's so simple to end her solitude. Yeah, it's very simple. Just speak with someone. And do what you want to do. Yeah. And I know anyone can do it. Someone else can make her happy. So, certainly, with my body in this pitiful state, there's no need for me to act this desperately. Someone else could just take her... Someone else could just make her not solitary. I know that. I know. It's not all logic. But I can't. I can't let someone else do it. And I can't part with her like this. For me, there's no one else besides her. Because Arcueid is the only one in this world that I want to make happy. I love Arcueid. I love her as a man. I love everything about her. But more than that, I want to make her happy with my own hands. For that, it doesn't matter what happens to my life. I don't want her to die like this. Right now, that's all there is, Senpai. Yeah, that's all. She's more precious to me than my own life right now. Please don't say such stupid things. No one else can do that. It seems you're the only one in this world who can even say that. Senpai shrugs her arms after a big sigh. Senpai. It makes me a little angry. She's happy enough already. As if she's giving up something, Senpai speaks with gentle voice. And then, I hear the rustle of tree branches from outside the window. Oh, you don't need to be surprised. She was just leaving. I felt something out of place before, so I guess it was that after all. Senpai casts a glance out the window. It isn't like her to put a higher priority on you than Roa. Well, if she gave more priority to Roa after such a speech, she'd deserve some divine punishment. Then that means Arcueid was outside my window until just now? Why would Arcueid come to my room, Senpai? She came to check up on you because she was worried after Roa attacked you. She must have heard what we were talking about and left for Roa. Ooh, so now she knows exactly where he is. In other words, she went to settle things with Roa. What? She went? Why? Of course, after hearing something like that, even I would have done the same thing. Yeah, I'm envious, but I pity her just as much. But how come? You want to help her, but she doesn't want to get you involved. So there's only one answer, right? Senpai acts calm, as if she knew this would happen. So now you can give up, right, Tohno-kun? No matter how hard you try, you can't catch up to her. So leave the rest to me, and rest. Like hell! I wildly grab onto Senpai's collar. Just that makes me dizzy, but I don't care. You asked me knowing this would happen, Senpai! No, I didn't know you saw her that way. Certainly, this was a mistake on my part. But her expression doesn't change. She looks down at me gently as I clutch her collar. Doing this accomplishes nothing. Arcueid is already gone. What I should be doing isn't blaming Senpai. I'm going after her. Take me there. Do you think I'll follow an order from a person in your condition? Yeah, of course I don't think so. Whoa! What the fuck? Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Holy shit! What the fuck? If you don't listen to me, I'll steal your Nintendo Switch right here! Her expression collapses. She casts a look as if staring directly into my heart, but now I can't back down. And then, Senpai gives yet another sigh. Your proposition is intriguing, but I'll pass. It was my mistake, and I've gone this far already. I'll stay with you till the last stop. She pulls back from my hands and steps over next to me. I will take you there, so please be quiet. Dude, Nasu's a fucking weirdo, dude. Like, that's something you could very, very easily... You could have just said, if you don't take me there, I'll use my own knife to end myself. Right? Or he could have said that, which is still kind of toxic, but it's a little better than what he actually said. Or he could have threatened her life with because he could see the points of death. And that would be extreme, but it wouldn't be that, okay? Good lord. Note that early 2000s Nasu had to sell the games. Yeah, I suppose, but like... Who are you selling them to at that point? Well, I mean, it's not like... I don't know. Holy shit. Like, wow. Okay, anyway. I don't have time to be surprised. Giving a slight heave, she picks me up. If Aki-san sees us, she would try to stop us. So shall we use the same method as she did? A light footstep, and we fly out the window as Senpai holds me. We arrive at school. Even though she was carrying me, Senpai isn't even out of breath, and she ran as swiftly as she was sprinting by herself. Tohno-kun, can you walk? Barely. We're going to kill Roa, so we can't go in like this. That's true. Then please walk on your own from here. Senpai lowers me to the ground. The school is eerily quiet. Once we go inside, all that's left is a fight to the death. I take off my glasses after a deep breath. My head starts to pound. In addition to not being able to move myself fully, I feel really sick. This isn't good. Senpai looks up at the night sky with a serious expression. A full moon. The radiant moonlight illuminates the school grounds. What isn't good? Yes, the true ancestors are said to be originally from the moon, so they gain much strength from the moon. This is the same for Roa, as a dead apostle under the true ancestors, so he's practically immortal tonight. With my current equipment, I may not be able to fully kill him. She grits her teeth. Practically immortal. But that doesn't mean a thing to me. If I can get close, even in the next instant I'll be stabbed in the chest once more. If I can get close, I can pierce his death. It's very bright tonight. It'll be difficult to conceal ourselves in darkness. I'm rather fond of moonlit nights, but it's a little different tonight. Senpai sighs. The pale shining moonlight and the frigid night air. I can even see the lines of death growing. Really, I don't like moonlit nights. Tohno-kun? Creak. My brain creaks. Rather than in sunshine, I can unpleasantly see everything clearly in the weak moonlight. I like the strong sunshine that erases everything, or a real darkness. Creak. Not pain, but my brain actually does start creaking. Man, it seems like I'll go especially crazy tonight. Everything seems to die easily. It's like I'm in the deserts of the moon. But with this, there's no way I'll miss Roa's death either. I put my glasses back on. Gripping my knife, I walk towards the school building. I pass through the front entrance. Even walking normally is difficult. The distance to the school building seems incredibly long. Tohno-kun, we'll split up here. Senpai says this suddenly. From here on, please go ahead by yourself. I'll be doing something else. Something else? Senpai, you're going to do something? Now look, even my goal is to deal with Roa. It seems this Roa is stronger than his previous hosts, so I can't face him directly. When you and Arcueid are killed by Roa, I will use that opening to dispose of him. She says this directly, with a serious expression. You really seem serious, Senpai. Yes. That was the last time I'm letting personal circumstance enter my work. You're fighting for her, aren't you, Tohno-kun? Like that, I also have my reasons. So from now on, I cannot help you, Not after you threatened to steal my Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah? Yeah, thanks, Senpai. Since this might be goodbye. Since this might be goodbye, let me say I liked you, Senpai. It was fun spending time with you and Arihiko, talking about stupid things. Yes, it was like a dream for me, too. Senpai disappears toward the building like a black shadow. Well, time to go. I push my body, which hurts every time I move, and run into the school building. The school building is full of cracks, as if a small typhoon was let loose inside, and they shift higher and higher. It seems the fight between Arcueid and Roa has already begun. Upstairs! I spit this out as I dash up the stairs. I gasp for air. I make it to the 4th floor. The cracks running through the walls continue down the hallway, and to the passageway which connects the 2 buildings. Damn it! I somehow manage to move my wavering legs and run towards the connecting passageway. I pass through the hallway and reach its intersection with that passageway. That's the last stop. In the middle of the passageway, 2 figures are glaring at each other from a distance. Shiki stands at the end of the passageway, reaching to the nearby building wide open. And in the very center, Arcueid is kneeling on the floor, breathing hard. Arcueid! I start to dash toward her, but before then, Arcueid, still kneeling, looks up at me intensely. Ugh. I can't move. The instant her eyes fixate on me, my body, as if it became stone, doesn't move at all.
How awful, binding your friend with your mystic eyes like that. It would have been okay for you to let him die with you.
Shiki, no, Roa, laughs amusedly. Mystic eyes! Why? Why is Arcueid using this on me? Finally, even though I made it back here on time. Why? Why, Arcueid? Arcueid looks away from me and directs her gaze at Roa. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything to me. She only glares at the enemy in front of her as she breathes painfully. Whoa, what happened? It was a weird pop-up out of nowhere. That was annoying. She only glares at the enemy in front of her as she breathes painfully. Why? Why? I can't even shout. Not because of her mystic eyes. But I finally made it here. Cursing my ineffectiveness, my body, which I forced for so long, starts to lose its heat. Roa laughs loudly as he watches the 2 of us.
I see. You're finally prepared, princess.
Roa leisurely walks over to Arcueid. Arcueid remains kneeled, unmoving.
My. You're pretty good, Shiki. It seems the princess here is going to fight me to save you. If it were the former princess, you would be terrifying. But you're now just a regular vampire. You don't even have the power of a true ancestor anymore. Jeez, it would have been better if you only fell to your desires.
Quiet! Arcueid's voice echoes through the hallway. What is this? If it's not a hallucination, everything around Arcueid starts to waver.
What?
Roa stops walking forward.
Marble phantasm. You can still use that? As to be expected from the royalty of the true ancestors.
Roa retreats fearfully.
However, You cannot win against me, because I have something you lack.
Arcueid stops breathing, as if ceasing all movement in order to gather up all her strength.
You know, don't you? Right. It is the experience of death. I know what death is, but you do not. That is our difference. Well, as long as something is alive, it cannot experience death. The only one who knows is probably an infinite reincarnator like me.
The wavering of everything around Arcueid grows stronger.
Humans are instinctually afraid of the unknown. This does not change even for transcendent races like the true ancestors. No matter how much of the occult you study, no matter how long lived you are, you cannot experience death. You all gain so much power by resisting death, but at the same time, it is the source of your weakness. You run away from death, whereas I accept it. That is the difference in nature between you, Arcueid Brunstead, and I, Michael Roa Valdemrong. Can't even pronounce my own name. Ugh. Fucking shitty name.
Sorry.
Even now, I live as a human in this age. An out-of-place ghost like yourself has no right to judge me.
Crack. The glass along the passageway starts to break.
I know. About death. About the darkness. The nothingness which I have journeyed through so many times. To me, death is little more than a common ritual. Let's say you destroy this body right here. I'll still remain in this world. Why don't you understand it's useless to fight me?
Roa spreads his arms higher. Arcueid doesn't answer.
All right. If you still insist on challenging me, I will not stop you. Your resistance will be rewarded.
Roa lowers his arms and crouches. Everything around Arcueid seems on the verge of bursting apart. I can't speak. This isn't good. My brain screams to me. I shouldn't let this happen. I don't know why. I don't even have proof. Someone who has seen lots of death. Someone who has seen lots of death can tell. Roa and Arcueid. Which one of them is closer to death?
Stop!
I can't speak. I can't. Crack! The sound of the air ripping itself apart. The warping of Arcueid's surroundings propagates along the entire passageway. The entire hallway pulses. The glass windows, the walls, the hallways, the whole building. They become rolling waves, as if they were a shredder, with tens, hundreds, thousands, no, countless number of blades. In a single instant, Roa's body disappears, distorted, sliced, compressed. All that remains are his ankles. The sliding of the hallway ceases. Maybe it only lasted a moment. The passageway is like it was before. Only all that's left are Roa's ankles. But it didn't end there. The ankles start to move. They start to run towards Arcueid. As they do, with each step, a leg, his hips, his other leg, his torso, his arms, sprout to life. Arcueid is still kneeling, not moving. Directly in front of her, Roa's neck and head come back into being. I couldn't warn her in time. The completely regenerated Roa slices through her stomach, like cutting cleanly through the line, with no slicing of flesh, no flowing of blood.
That was close. I knew it was correct to choose tonight. If the moon was waning even the slightest bit, I could not have regenerated from just an ankle. And Princess, you cannot regenerate from that wound. My claws have the same ability as that man over there.
Thud. Arcueid collapses to the floor.
This is the power I got from experiencing death. Ironically, I didn't know how to use this myself, but he taught me.
For someone who
has seen death, perceiving its form was not difficult.
Roa boasts as he kicks Arcueid. Her body tumbles toward me. Arcueid! I can move again. It's because the power behind her mystic eyes has vanished. It means her power is no longer working. Damn! Shaking the thought from my mind, I hold her close. A chill runs through me the instant I hold her. Her body's terribly cold. The only heat left within her is like a candle about to go out. Roa still stands before us, but I don't care about that. Right now, I just want to help Arcueid. Arcueid! I call out to her. Her closed eyes open energetically, as if waking from a dream. That was very lame, wasn't it? With patchwork brightness, Arcueid puts forth a strained smile. What kind of stupid things were you saying? Why? Why did... I can't speak clearly. I wanted to say something more, something better, but my brain doesn't work. I can't be calm now. As I hold her, the lack of lingering warmth in her body tells me it's hopeless. If I took off my glasses, there's no doubt I would see something even more hopeless. More than anything else, I don't want to see that. Why? 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 It's all I can manage to say. Exasperated at myself, I hold her tightly. There's no embrace in response. She doesn't have any strength left in her. All she does is smile happily. No! This can't be happening. Why? Why did you have to do it all by yourself? We're partners. Didn't we say we'd help each other? To the very end? Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. I kind of forgot. How can you forget? This makes me useless. I said I would help you. I said I would definitely help you. But I couldn't even help one bit. No. That's not it at all, Shiki. You've helped me more than enough. That's why. It's enough already. Cough. She coughs up blood and smiles painfully. So, I wanted to thank you. In the end, I'm glad I was able to protect you from Roa. I gasp. Arcueid's glazed over eyes don't see anything. Not her wound. Or even Roa, who still lives. Her time, since attacking a while ago, ended right then. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. I can't even lie properly. The light in her eyes is fading. Her body warmth is rapidly approaching zero. I'm going to lose her like this. Arcueid. Yes. Drink my blood. If you do that, you'll get your power back. Not even thinking, I scream that out. She doesn't answer, but slightly. She shakes her head.
Why?
Don't tell me you're still scared. Look, you said it before, right? You asked what if birds or fish had the same amount of intelligence. Could I eat them? I would. If it meant I would live, I would. It isn't stealing things from others to live a natural law of the world. Oh wait, I completely misread that sentence. Isn't stealing things from others to live a natural law of the world? That's what she said herself back then. So why? Why does she just shake her head with those pitiful eyes? I don't like talking about what ifs. A denial. But that was my line back then. But she said before, she likes playing what if. Because it feels like there's hope. Really? I like what ifs. Even if it is sugarcoating things. I feel there's always some hope. Isn't there? But I can't finish. My throat is just too tight. I can't speak properly. It's true. But right now, there's something else I want more. With a wavering voice, I ask her what it is. Yeah. I want you to kiss me, Shiki. What? Such a simple thing. Is that all right? I press my lips to hers. It isn't sweet like before or gentle. Just a kiss where I press my lips against her cold lips without any warmth. After that, she smiles as if extremely happy. I always wanted to do something like that. Oh, you really like strange things. Yes, but I'm still happy. Just that felt so good. I've lived for so long, but I've never been this happy like I am now. So, I kind of thought to myself, maybe disappearing like this might be good. After murmuring such a thing, all warmth disappears from her body. Arcueid? There's no response, even though her body is still here. Even though her body is still this soft. Even though I still remember the sound of her voice in my ears. Never again. None of this will ever happen again. What have I been doing? I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to teach her so many things. I wanted to take her to so many places. I wanted to be with her forever. But it can never happen. She's done it. No matter how you look at it, there's nothing more. Suddenly, before I could say the right thing, she went off and passed away by herself. For my entire life, I won't be able to forget this. This death. This maddening calmness. I'll never forget it. Tap. I hear the footsteps of the man who was watching it all.
Finished, Shiki?
Yeah. It's finished. Answering, I turn toward my enemy. We face each other in the moonlit hallway. Roa doesn't move from the spot where Arcueid was before. He was watching everything silently, probably because he knew he was in a dominant position.
I didn't think you were still alive.
Roa says this casually, as if nothing has happened. I take off my glasses and ready my knife.
It seems those who can escape death are good at escaping death. It isn't a matter of the strength or weakness of your life. However, normally, people call that useless effort. You're one to talk. You and I. We've already died once. Exactly, Roa says as he smiles. Those returning from the dead can understand death. You and I are special cases of that kind. I've experienced death 17 times before I got to this, but you've done it only once. Honestly, it must be the difference in our latent ability. I'm really curious what kind of ability it would have if I had been reincarnated in your body. A bothersome, overly composed voice. Just hearing it makes my head hurt. I have two things I want to ask you and one thing I want to... I don't know who's talking. Okay, that's Shiki. I have two things I want to ask you, and one thing I want to tell you. I managed to say this when my head fills with pain. Oh? Alright, go ahead. Probably because he's so absolutely confident in his dominating position, Roa responds amusedly. The first question is the most important. Why did you kill Arcueid? Why? She was trying to kill me, so wasn't it natural to kill her back? Well, the one I desired wasn't this weak princess who came here. My current self could have taken apart the princess while she lived. But there's no point in taking a true ancestor no different from a regular vampire. So I figured there was no value in taking her in, and decided to settle it. Even I'm disappointed with the way things have turned out. Twisting his lips, the enemy laughs. My head hurts. Hurry. I have to kill him as fast as possible. I can't stand him existing a single second longer. Well, what do you plan on doing now? Oh wait, no, that's Roa. Well, what do you plan on doing now? Don't tell me you think you can fight me in your condition. Resisting is useless, Shiki. I know that more than anyone else. Dizziness causes me to collapse to my knees. But still, even if I don't have any power left to stand, I gaze at him. Enough. Enough. Even if you were to see my death, if you can't touch me, it's meaningless. You know, Shiki. I'm rating your ability rather highly. Yes, it seems Shiki's personality is fading away. Since he's avenged you, I'm more Roa than Shiki now. Well, it doesn't really matter. Roa takes another step forward. Isn't this power wonderful, Shiki? You should be happy. We're probably the only ones who possess the mystic eyes of death perception in the entire world. It would be a shame to lose such a rare ability, and more than anything else, we're the same entity. We can understand each other more than anyone else. There's no other partner who would assure me as you. You're trying to tell me to be your partner? No, not asking. I'm letting. I don't care about what you want. That would only get in the way. You can relax. After I drink your blood and plunder even your soul, I'll make you into an existence where you won't hesitate to use your power. The gritting of my teeth. I see. Then the next question. What you see. Are they lines or points? No, I'll make it simpler. You can see it only on living things, right? You can't possibly see it on anything else. Of course non-living things don't have any life. Only living things have this place indicating the source of life.
I thought so. I understand completely, vampire. I grip my knife. The headache completely governs the inside of my brain, and all I can see is one thing.
You're not being clear, and those aren't really fitting final words. But enough talk. There's also the hiding woman from the church I have to deal with. You're lucky, Shiki. Once I make you my subordinate, your first opponent will be that woman you trust.
Roa approaches. My wavering vision isn't fixated on his figure. What you and I see are totally different, Shiki. In the back of my head, a switch turns on. All you're seeing is life. You don't understand death at all. That's why you can't kill me. And you're only able to kill a weakened woman. My brain reaches a white heat.
What?
If you could see death, you couldn't maintain your sanity. All you can perceive is the part which keeps things alive. If you could see death, you couldn't even manage to stand. To give an example, it is the world on the moon. Everything is like a desolate wasteland. The seam of death on everything I see. Events of the world which disappear when I touch them.
What are you?
Being able to see the death of things means you're forced to see the world's uncertainty and fragility. The ground is not like there, and the sky seems about to fall at any moment.
What are you even talking about?
Roa's voice falters. Of course, because he can't understand the slightest bit of what I'm saying. In other words, his eyes and mine may be similar, but they're completely different things.
Stop it! Those eyes! Don't look at me with those eyes!
Fear mixes into Roa's voice. He even said it himself. Humans are instinctually afraid of the unknown. You don't know of the illusion that the whole world could perish in an instant. That is what it means to see death. These eyes, this power, isn't something you can boast about like you did. Yeah, back then, I was even scared of walking. Even I would. If I hadn't met that person, I would have long since been insane. That's your mistake, vampire. Life and death may be back to back, but they will never face each other.
I'm telling you, don't look at me with those eyes!
The sound of running footsteps, but I'm many times faster. I'll show you. This is what it means to kill something. Saying that, I thrust through the hallway's point on the floor. Instantaneously, the lines racing through the passageway undulate. Even the sound of Roa's screaming voice is buried amidst the crashing rubble. The passageway is literally killed. The blocks which lost their meaning break apart and crumble away. For Roa, it must have been a total surprise attack. Pulled down by the destruction of the hallway and the collapsing rubble, Roa falls to the earth. In front of my very eyes, the passageway crumbles away. Enduring the pain in my head and the burning in my body, I head to the stairs. I head past Arcueid's corpse and hurry to the courtyard. Under the moonlight, the courtyard under the passageway has become a sea of rubble. In its center, something moves. He really is sly when dealing with death. I pull my almost collapsing body toward it. He really is something. The lower half of Roa's body is almost completely gone. Yet coming out from underneath the rubble, the upper half of his body still moves, ignoring that fact. This amount of life may almost be something worthy of respect.
What was that?
Quivering, Roa wonders aloud. Walking on top of the rubble, I move directly in front of him.
Shiki.
Roa lifts his head to look at me. His eyes seem to practically ooze with hatred.
You monster!
His eyes equally full of indignant hatred. Who is? Replying, I stand in front of him. Roa's death is just a little right of his heart. I lightly thrust my knife forward. A sensation like piercing paper. That feeling is indeed death. Roa gives a small scream. He's someone who's experienced death. He should know this feeling really well. You're not scared, are you? It's a path you're quite familiar with. If there's a difference, it's only one thing. This time, you can't come back! I pull out my knife and turn away from Roa. Roa isn't dead yet. Like Arcueid, someone who has long lived as him will linger just a little longer. I breathe weakly. My mind wavers. If my body is at its limits, then my head is past its limits. Arcueid even said back then, I shouldn't force myself to look at the death of non-living things. I do it too much. If I do it too much, the blood vessels in my brain will burn away. I don't care about all that. It would have been all right, even if I turned myself into a vegetable. It would have been worth it to stop Roa sooner. That way, you wouldn't had to have. I collapse. I fall to the ground. My ankles are in pain. I turn around and see the upper half of Roa's body, which crawled this far.
You.
With bloodshot eyes, he makes his way onto my collapsed body.
Fading. Disappearing. I am.
His bloody arms wrap around my neck.
Why I disappear? How did you kill me?
Opening his saw-like mouth, he moves to bite my neck.
I won't
It's funny because this was written in 2000, but the text is like he's like being like the SpongeBob sarcasm meme. Sorry.
I won't disappear. You and I are connected. You see, you transfer my existence. Links cannot be cut.
His teeth dig into my neck. He vanishes. Roa's body falls apart in a single instant. Yes, with this, it means I'm the one who killed him. Senpai says this, sword in hand, and breathing happily. I don't quite understand. I'm saying I'm the one who killed Roa. What a kill stealing. What the fuck? No matter who your opponent is, you should not kill humans. You're not someone who should come to my world. So, I'm the one who killed him. Senpai says this haughtily, as she places her hands on her hips. Senpai... That's just sugarcoating it. Maybe it is. But it's a kind lie, so isn't it okay? Even if it is hypocrisy, doesn't it allow room for some hope? those words are similar. When I told her not to talk about what-ifs, she answered with something like that. Yeah, that's right. Somehow, somewhere, if there's hope, then how happy can that be? But that isn't really important, is it? I'm sorry, that's her. That isn't really important, is it? Are you okay, Tohno-kun? Were you bitten? Senpai rushes quickly to care for me. My consciousness fades away. I don't want to move anymore, and my brain wants to rest. Kun. Shiki! Hey! Farther and farther away. Eyes still open. With the glass-like moon overhead, my consciousness completely ceases. As it happens, I think to myself how it seems just like a television being switched off. Tsukihime and Epilogue. Wow, we made it to the end. I'll keep going, just to see if we can just get to the end. Shiki-sama, it is morning. Please wake up. I hear a familiar voice. Shiki-sama, please wake up. If you are late like yesterday, you'll break your promise with Akiha-sama. A voice, partly tense, partly relaxed. Shiki-sama, is it okay? Akiha-sama will end up scolding you again. No, it's not okay at all. I'm up, so hold on. Still under the sheets, I respond as I slowly open my eyes. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Morning. I give a sleepy greeting in response and put on my glasses. It's past 7 in the morning. Hisui came at her usual time and managed to wake me. I will prepare your breakfast. After changing, please head toward the dining room. Hisui disappears from the room after a bow. I give a big yawn. After a nice stretch, I get up from the bed. I change into my school uniform and cast a glance at my desk. On top is the knife I will never use again. The curtains sway in the wind. Hisui must have opened the window. The sky is refreshingly clear. It's just a little cold, though. I approach the window to close it. As it turned out, I ended up waking in my own room. It seems Senpai carried me here. Fortunately, Akiha and the others didn't know I left. It's been 1 week since that night. Tohno-Shiki's life hasn't changed a bit from what it was before. My relationship with Akiha is a bit uneasy at times, but of course we're brother and sister. Except for that passageway being repaired, the school has not changed at all. No, it did change. At school, there's no senpai called Seal anywhere, nor does anyone remember her. The instances of serial murders haven't occurred once since then. Since there's been no official arrest, the city streets are still relatively empty at night, but it'll probably return to normal in a month. As for me, I carry an unfillable void in my heart, but I continue on as I did before. Or rather, I can bear it all. At times, I get overwhelmed when I'm assailed by memories, but I don't think I'll go insane or anything for now. Someday, will I go crazy after not being able to bear these memories? Or will I just return to living normally after getting used to them? Perhaps it's about a 50-50 chance. But until then, even if it is a little girlish, I keep the final promise I made with her every day. Autumn is drawing to a close, isn't it? The blue sky outside is enough to take my breath away. Taking a large, deep breath, I shut the window. Classes end, and the classroom empties, but I won't leave until the sun sets completely. The red classroom. The burning sunset spreads outside the window. The sun flushes red as it sinks deep into the sky. I'll always be waiting here. I'll remember my unforgettable promise. I'll continue waiting here forever. There's still one promise I haven't been able to fulfill. When this is all over, when we're done defeating this vampire, before we part, can't we do something like this just once more? Back then, she tilted her head to the side in confusion. So, I really was wondering, what would happen if we were to just meet again without any responsibilities? If we just met for no particular reason? When I said those words, I was only thinking about her. If you're too busy, then it's okay. I only thought of it just now anyway. Just not as two people cooperating, but as two friends who got along, not doing anything in particular. If we could create some normal memories like that, I knew she would be happy. Okay. When everything is over, let's come here again, Shiki. It won't have any meaning, but I'm sure it'll be really, really fun. After her eyes widened in surprise, she nodded. In the classroom bathed by the sunset, Arcueid smiled and made that promise with me. I remember that promise. I remember that smile. I remember everything. I can't forget. I won't forget. I'll always remember the promise we made in the room ablaze with the sunset to meet here again. The sun sinks further. These hours until the vermilion fades completely. The quiet time until the crimson sky disappears. This eternal, fleeting instant of a world standing still. Maybe I am already crazy. Even though I'm waiting for someone who will never come, my heart is horribly calm. Clatter. The sound of something touching a desk. I look. A window is open. I realize that, painted in red sunlight, is she standing by the window. She doesn't move at all, but she's there. She's right in front of me. She's not an illusion, but I feel like there's a distance which can never be spanned between us. I can't speak, but I feel so terribly calm now. Jeez. I really was planning on disappearing, Shiki, but you'd just wait forever. I couldn't just leave you alone like that, so I came here. She smiles bashfully. Well, you know, I did say I was never going to break a promise with you again. That's true. Thanks for keeping that promise. But I'm sorry. It seems like this time, I'm the one who won't be able to keep it. Why? I'm surprised myself. I ask her this in a truly gentle voice, without any anger at all. Yeah, I never did tell you my reason for pursuing Roa. Actually, a long time ago, I once drank human blood. At the time, the human stole some of my powers and became an incredibly strong dead apostle. In the end, he ended up killing all the other true ancestors except for me. Then that means... You mean Roa? Yes. Until that time, I never knew about the vampiric impulse. The other true ancestors also believed I did not have it. But it was too late. Until then, I didn't even know I was a vampire. So, I didn't know it was something I shouldn't do. I see. Never having been taught anything extra. She wasn't even taught she was the same as those she killed. Because of just one mistake, I destroyed everyone. So I won't drink human blood again. But a true ancestor that has drank blood once, a true ancestor that has drank blood once cannot remain sane without doing it again. I can only be here because you completely killed Roa. Even though I annihilated him so many times, it was only his flesh and not his soul. But you killed his existence completely, Shiki. So, the power he stole returned to me, and I somehow managed to revive. That doesn't... But that's all I can do. I can no longer resist the vampiric impulse inside of me. So... That doesn't matter. Shiki, I can't see you again. Sorry for breaking our promise. It doesn't matter to me. I just want you to be by my side, that's all. You can keep your promise. Shiki, drink my blood. If you do, you can keep your promise. Time passes by. Neither of us says anything. And after a truly maddening silence, I see, but I can't. I don't need your blood, Shiki. Why? Is my blood not good? Do you have a reason for not drinking it? She nods. I like you, so I won't. She smiles like a flower, blooming triumphantly. I suck in a large amount of air and just try to suppress this feeling. I want to stop her. 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 Even if I have to kill her, I want to stop her. But her smile is just too gorgeous. I can't selfishly bring myself to ruin it. Goodbye. I really am grateful for everything, Shiki. My throat trembles, and no sound comes out. But still, I have to say goodbye. I'm a liar. Why? You kept your promise, Shiki. I'm just a worthless liar. I said I would make you happy. Yes, I vowed to. No, not at all. I will sleep from now on, but I'll always be dreaming of you. I enjoyed our time together so much. I will always be dreaming about it. It won't have any meaning. It won't have any meaning. But I'm sure it'll be really, really fun. So Shiki, I really am happy. You really did make me happy. Damn. My throat is filled up. I don't want such a... You really are kind, Shiki. Yeah. I knew coming here to say goodbye was a good thing. I love you, Shiki. Your honesty, how you're always spaced out, how I'm the only one you yell at, how you always look forward to the future. I love all of you. So please, keep living like that, okay? For just an instant, she smiles sadly. She waves her hand, and as if fading into the sunset itself, she disappears before my very eyes. I grit my teeth, trying to hold it in. She was smiling until the very end. So at least I didn't want to cry. The classroom is empty. I see. You really did keep your promise. In this classroom. Our promise to meet again in the classroom as the sun set. She definitely kept it. There are some things I lost, but it is now over. The curtain has fallen, The curtain has fallen cleanly over the time that I knew her. The time that I ran through with her. Come to think of it, a farewell is always there. In our case, our farewell was only early. Thinking of it that way, this was a really satisfying farewell. She was still alive, and she told me she's still happy. No, not like this. This isn't what I wanted. Right, more. I wanted to be with her more. I wanted to talk with her more. I wanted to feel the warmth of her body more. More. I wanted to see her smile more. Always. Not like this, but always. I wanted to make her happy. But she... Smiling to the end, she left me behind, telling me to live. That stupid idiot. That was her final wish. With a smile, she told me she told me no matter how hard it is, even if I have to deceive myself right now, until I can finally see it all as simply as a memory, to keep looking forward to the future and live. There's no way I can do that. I don't have the slightest confidence to live like that. Still, so that she can see a happy dream, I have to at least grant her wish. I realize the sun has long since sank. The crimson sky is painted over in dark blue. The dark night sky. The spiral wisps of clouds, and a bright white moon. They are all that's left, but an extremely beautiful memory. I exhale slowly as if praying. She may no longer be here, but I have to say what I forgot to say earlier. Goodbye. I had a lot of fun too. Those extremely late words of farewell echo through the classroom. Only the glass-like moon hangs in the sky. The distant blue moon, looking as if it would shatter if touched. For a long time until dawn, I keep looking up at it. All right. We did it. So that was Tsukihime. Or at least that was like, what, 1/8 or some shit? There's still many much more to go through. You know, the visual novel genre has a lot of weirdness to it in order to get it to sell, I guess. You know, the sexual content and the gratuitous stuff. And some of the dialogue was a little weird. Some of the writing choices were a little immature. But you can clearly see the heart behind this. You can clearly see, like, the intention of it, you know? So, you know, there are things about this story that I didn't fully appreciate, but overall, I think it's won me over pretty hard. Now get the good ending. I'll look into it. It's my understanding that you have to watch the true ending first in order to get the good ending. Is that correct? The final confrontation was actually a little less anime than I thought it was going to be. I thought, like, Shiki was going to go full into his other self, and there was going to be, like, a big battle, but no. He just kind of, like, intimidates him and then uses the line-cutting trick to destroy the bridge. There was a beta tester called Arturius. That's funny. Now just reload the last choice and open up the option. Reload this last choice and then open up the option I'll never forget Arcueid. Will you take Seal Sensei's lesson? Sure, I guess so. You reached Arcueid's true ending. Well done. Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings, true ending and a good ending. After reaching one of the endings, please go back a little and re-advance through the story. Different events should await you. Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime. Okay. I start walking from the mansion atop the hill towards the school. Like any other day, the morning is wrapped in tranquility. Autumn is almost over, and winter is close by. Perhaps when this vague season in between the heat of summer and the chill of winter changes, maybe this transparent feeling will also change. I see more figures of students in uniforms the closer I get to school. Today is Saturday, so most of them are smiling as they walk along the road. Once I pass this intersection, I'll reach the front gate. It will soon be a month since I came back to the Tohno mansion. I've already become well used to this route by now. The traffic light turns red and I stand in front of the crosswalk. Every time I stop here, I remember. At one time, at this intersection, Arcueid was waiting for Tohno Shiki back then as she sat on the guardrail, just like she's doing now. Wait, what? I say without even thinking. Between the cars rushing by, a scene unfolds just like before. What? She's there, dressed in white with golden hair down to her shoulders, long, slender eyebrows over crimson eyes. Her figure I could never mistake for anyone else, no matter what. This figure that has already vanished long ago. The light turns green. The students around me start moving. In the midst of it, I'm the only one who stands still, and she's the only one who notices I'm here. She has her typical smile as she crosses the intersection. I can't speak. I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. I don't even know what to do. Even if this is some sort of bad illusion, I I'm so happy just to see her again I could cry. Hello. Are you heading to school, student-son? I can't believe it. The illusion even has her voice down perfectly. Shiki? Hey, why are you so quiet? Don't tell me you forgot about me. Those red eyes looking up at me. There's no way I could forget. But at the same time, there's no way she can be here, alive. I can't speak. She wrinkles her eyebrows together and glares at me like an angry cat. Geez, what gives? I put up with not going to see you. I put up with not going to see you and was waiting here so long. Don't tell me you're angry, Shiki? I just can't believe it. This isn't an illusion in front of me. It really is. Arcueid? Yes, it's me. Thank goodness. I thought you became a vegetable after fighting Roa. I really was worried, you know. Wait a minute. I'm so confused. What do I say? What should I be happy about? Is there something I need to do? I really am just so overwhelmed I don't know. Shiki? Hey, you're acting funny. Your mouth is wide open, and so are your eyes. Well, it's kind of interesting for me, so I'll keep watching. Arcueid. That's what I mean. Jeez, you just keep saying my name. We finally managed to meet again, so you can't find anything more befitting to say? Yeah, there's no mistake. There's only one person who could say such ridiculous things. Why? I can't hear you, so please say it a little louder. She tells me, come on, as she points her ear closer to me. Why are you still alive? I scream and voice my feelings as loud as I can. Ow! Not so loud, Shiki. You... Don't say not so loud. Why are you alive? I thought you were gone. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were gone. That I would never see you. That I would always regret it. But why? This cheerfully. As if we only said goodbye yesterday. How can she greet me so simply? Oh, I see. I never did tell you, Shiki. Arcueid drops a fist to her other hand in realization. Yeah, I never did tell you my reason for pursuing Roa. He stole some of my power. In order to take it back, I pursued him, but you completely destroyed him, right? And the power that was freed from Roa returned to me, and I managed to come back to life. You never told me about that! No, I didn't. It didn't really concern you. Why did... Anyway, I revived, but I could barely resist the vampiric impulse inside of me. I probably would have done something terrible if I went to see you, so I slept until I regained my power. Because of that, I was able to return to normal, but it took 7 days to suppress my impulse. Then... You're really okay now, Arcueid. Of course. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. She flashes me a full smile. Arcueid takes my hand. You know, Shiki, while I was asleep, I was really looking forward to meeting again like this. Because once I did, we could go around and do many things. I was thinking it would be so nice to get better, even just a little quicker. Arcueid looks at me with such a pure, unadulterated smile. I'm speechless. Not in a bad way, I'm just so happy. Being able to see her smile again. All the things we can do from now on. How I told Senpai that my wish was never to leave Arcueid alone again. Not one. Not one of them was lost. There's so many things I want to say and tell her right now. But right now, I'll just speak honestly from the heart. Welcome back. I've been waiting a long time. I squeeze her hand in return, and briefly tell her just that. She looks a little bewildered at first. Yeah. Saying that, she looks away in embarrassment. Arcueid? I call out to her. After a brief pause, she faces me with a full smile. Yes, I'm back. I'm glad you were still yourself, Shiki. My chest tightens. If this wasn't right on the way to school, I would embrace and kiss her. Her smile is just so adorable. Alright, let's go, Shiki. You're gonna take me to many places, right? Arcueid releases my hand and jumps like a rabbit. She's so radiant I can barely look at her directly. Where? Anywhere. Somewhere you think is fun, Shiki. Smiling, Arcueid replies like it's nothing. But that's a little troubling. You know, I do have school. Hey, can't you at least spend a day with me today? Arcueid looks dissatisfied. Evidently, I'm extremely weak against that face of hers. Well, even if I went to school like this, I wouldn't be able to concentrate there. And more than anything else, I want to be with Arcueid. You're right. Who cares about that boring reputation? Okay, Arcueid. I will indulge your selfishness for the day, my princess. Yay! Bump. She suddenly presses her body up against mine. Hey, Shiki. That night, what were you talking with about Seal? What you were talking with about your Seal? Shit. This fucking sentence. That night, what you were talking with Seal. Fuck. Right at the end of the stream, I completely fucking fall apart. One last time. Hey, Shiki. That night, what you were talking about with Seal. Your feelings haven't changed? She looks up imploringly at me as she asks. My feelings that night? What do you mean? About you saying you loved me. I start to sputter. It's too embarrassing for her to ask me this question when she's this close to me. Oh, I forgot. You shouldn't eavesdrop, Arcueid. I can't help it if I overheard. Anyway, come on, answer me. Your words that night, they haven't changed? Idiot. I don't even need to say that. Yeah, they haven't changed. I can't make any guarantees, but they'll probably never change. I'm so embarrassed. I look up at the sky and answer. Arcueid wraps her arms around mine. Oh, then you should prepare yourself, Shiki. Prepare? Prepare for what? I can't help but let a tinge of uneasiness creep up in my voice. She holds onto my arms and speaks with a smile. Because you promised to be with me forever. Didn't I say so when we first met? I'll have you take responsibility for me. Then she starts to walk, still holding onto my arm. She's as energetic as a little child urging me to hurry up, to get to a playground. Oh, I see. Certainly, I would have to prepare. Speaking to no one in particular, I start to walk with her. I head towards some random place, going against the flow of students going to school. Where to? Well, there's no place we can't go. The sunlight really suits this princess of the moon accompanying me. The weather is a perfect blue sky. Hand in hand, we walk towards a new beginning for the two of us. Yay! Yay! Okay. This is the canon ending for Melty Blood? Oh, for the previous Melty Blood. Okay. Right, because the new Melty Blood goes by the remake, right? And the remake seems completely fucking different. Like, it looks like a new route. Like, there's, like, new characters, a new villain. I mean, the true ending certainly has a lot more tragedy and emotion behind it, so it's a little bit more impactful. But, you know, if you've become attached to these characters, you want to see them happy, so this is a nice, like, wish fulfillment ending. And the fact that there's, like, more canon material based off of it, I feel like that kind of legitimizes it even more, so. Dude, the remake is full anime? The remake is full... Now, when you say full anime as in, like, how I described what I thought the fight with Robo would be earlier, like full anime, like clang clang super mode shit. I thought about, because I saw a guide for how to translate Tsukihime, the remake for the Nintendo Switch version. 10 times hard, interesting. But this was written and, like, translated and, like, written with intent. The translation for this is very matter of fact because it's a fan translation. It doesn't have, like, the level of creative flair that an official translation probably would have, especially nowadays. But the idea of translating Tsukihime remake, you're getting, like, the raw, probably, like, not much better than a Google translated translation. So first of all, you're getting a lot of inaccuracies. And you're getting, like, really raw statements that if I were to try and perform, it just wouldn't work. I would literally have to wait for either an official translation because Nasu has expressed interest in releasing this to the West, or another fan translation, which could take fucking years. Although, to be honest, with how much I plan to do and how long this process seems to take, between finishing the entirety of Tsukihime, which we will do, I want to do Fate Stay Night in its entirety. I will look into... There's like I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a sort of sequel to Tsukihime. I forget what it's called, like Hagatsu no something, whatever. And then there's also Hollow Ataraxia. But I heard that those are very horny, and I don't know. I'll have to look more into, like, whether or not they're really worth it. But I also want to play Umineko. That looks like that would be a lot of fun to perform that. And then also Baldur's Sky I want to look into. Noelle in the remake is if you took... Now, Noelle is not in this, right? She's an OC for the remake. Isn't that right? Will you take Seal's lesson? What more is there to say? You reached Arcueid's good ending. Well done. Each heroine with one extended ending. After reaching one of the endings, please go back a little and re-advance through the story. A different ending should await you. Oh, and another thing. If you have saved data where you cleared at least one heroine, it may be a good idea to restart from the first day. Well, now I do. You may have more choices before... Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime. But her interactions... Yeah, she seems like a really strong character in terms of, like, writing. She just seems very, like... You look at her and you're like, I understand who this is. Like, you get like, she's very well designed and, I don't know, well written, but very well designed, like, her expressions and everything. She seems very animated and very fun, so that would be cool, if I spoke a lick of Japanese. I am actually, one thing that I haven't mentioned that I'm gonna do once I finish the entirety of Tsukihime. And it might be different because the new one is based off of the remake. But it'll be interesting in its own way. I'll do like the story modes for Melty Blood type Lumina, and I'll just turn the voices off. That way I'll continue the performance. And that might be fun. Complete all the routes to get the true. Oh, there actually is like a legitimately like ultimate final ending? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, this has been a lot of fun. And we will... Let's see. Tomorrow... What's today? Wednesday? So Friday we will come back. And we will start a new route. So Friday, 12 p.m. EST will be the next stream. I recommend you doing Seal's route. So I briefly looked up a guide on how the routes work and heard about like the recommended order. My only concern about that is that like I feel like Seal's route, I might be completely off base, but I feel like Seal's route's going to cover a lot of the same ground that Arcueid's route covered, because it's more about hunting vampires and shit. Whereas the little hints and nuggets that Akia and Hisui and Kohaku gave in Arcueid's route makes me way more curious about them than about Seal. Seal has more action, actually? Okay. Yeah, I probably will just end up going to the Seal route. I'll probably just do the recommended route for these. But I am, like, super curious about the whole Tohno shit. The whole thing with the mansion. Because there's clearly more. There's clearly more to that. So, yeah. And like, Akia and Hisui and Kohaku are more fun. I'm also... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about where I landed with Seal's voice, so it'll be interesting doing an entire route of her. There is more once you start going through Akiha's route. Yeah, that's what I figured, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna bounce. This has been a lot of fun. We will keep going with yet more Tsukihime. Thank you for watching. Please keep watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Hit follow. Follow me on Twitter. Do all the things. Make my numbers go up. Have a wonderful day.